What's up everyone, I am Toku Tyler, and today I'm going to be talking Kishiryu Sentai Ryusoulger, Episode 1. Man, was this a great start to the newest Sentai for 2019. We're brought into the story right away, the Ryusoulgers seem really cool as characters, and I liked what happened in the episode as far as like pacing and the actual events. It was really cool. And with that said, my only two problems with the episode are the YouTuber girl, Yui. She's just thrown at us a couple of times. I didn't really get enough to like really know her. And the other is the plot seemed to go by really fast for me. At least is how it felt for me. I don't know if it really was going by fast. I was just enjoying every minute of it. I didn't have time to absorb the information, I think. But it was still a great episode, even though it felt a little fast for me. But it was just great. So maybe it's just me. But anyway, let's dive right into the episode. The episode begins with a ceremony, a ritual type situation where the previous Ryusoulgers, the masters, are passing their swords, their Ryusoukens, onto the new Ryusoulgers along with Ryusouls of their own. So each of the new ones get their own Ryusouls, which is really cool. And this is where we get to meet our new Ryusoulgers, Ryusou Red, Ko. I already like him. I just have a really good feeling about Ko. He's really fun. Our Ryusou Blue, Melto, which is kind of a weird name. I might say Merito, like pronouncing the L as an R, just because to make it easier for me, but I'll try to say Melto or Melt. But it's just a weird name to me, but he's cool. I don't know. And our Ryusou Pink, Asuna, who apparently is really super strong, which is, I don't know why that's a common thing. Like, I see that a lot. I don't know why. But I like her as well, so they seem like really good characters so far. They have been chosen to guard an ancient temple in their village, and the power that is kept inside it, and which is later revealed to be the Kishiryu, giant dinosaur knights. And so, yeah, we get a cool story so far with this ceremony happening. Also, after the ceremony scene, we get a glimpse at this giant lizard creature walking in the moonlight. It's really cool. I love that shot of it. It's so cool looking. This creature, I believe, is called a Minosaur. So these are the creatures that the mech is going to be battling, as well as the Rangers, the Ryusoulgers. Apparently, they fight them just as normal. Like after they change and everything, they fight them with their weapons, not just Zords, which is kind of interesting. So these are the monsters that the Ryusoulgers will fight against, and they seem pretty cool. And they say that this one, this giant one, is bigger than usual. So that kind of makes sense because we have the mecha later debuted. Anyway, after this, we get the Yui scene. Yui is the YouTuber girl. Like I said, this girl named Yui is a YouTuber type kind of person. She's apparently pretending to be in the Amazon forest looking for a hidden village, but it's just some, it's just the woods in a part of Japan. So she's kind of like, I don't know why she's lying about it, but I don't know. She's having fun at least. Ko sneaks up behind her and then disappears because the Ryusoulgers aren't supposed to talk to outsiders unless it's super necessary. So Ko and Master Red hear Yui screaming as she's running from weird creatures chasing her. Master Red and Ko both transform into red Ryusoulgers to fight them, which I still don't kind of understand. Why would they be passing on their powers to Ko and the others if they can still transform? I don't know, maybe it's like a training thing, but... And real quick, I just want to give my opinion on the opening song. It's actually really good. I haven't heard it. I tried to like keep any spoilers from myself for a while until it debuted, and it's really good. I think I really enjoy it. It's not my favorite because Lupin Ranger versus Pato Ranger is still in my head, so but it's still a really good song. I could jam out to it. It's pretty good. So anyway, back to the fight. We see Ko use the Suyo Soul, the Power Soul, which is my favorite of the auxiliary Ryu Souls, which is really cool. It gives him a huge power boost to take on multiple enemies at once, and just a really awesome fight, him using the powers of it. It's so cool. He then uses his red Ryu Soul to finish them with his Dino Slash. It's just he creates like a giant energy T-Rex behind him, and it's so amazing. I love that shot. Really good show so far. Afterwards, we are introduced to two of the enemy monsters, Kurion, who looks like this slime mushroom girl. She's kind of cool, actually. I like her. And Tank Joe. He's really strong looking, and he looks like a castle with legs. I think he's supposed to be castle themed, which is still kind of cool because we're dealing with knights and medieval styles and everything, which is cool. These two warriors are part of the Druidon race. The Ryusoulgers are then told the story of the Druidon. During the time of the dinosaurs, the Druidon and the Ryusoulgers lived on Earth amongst the dinosaurs. But the Druidon wanted to dominate the planet for themselves. They almost succeeded until the meteors that made the dinosaurs extinct drove the Druidon into space for many, many years. They have returned to take the power within the Ryusoulger's temple, the Kishiryu, or Dino Knight. So they were created, the Kishiryu were created by the Ryusoulger's ancestors as advanced weapons in the fight against the Druidons. They were sealed in the temples once the Druidons left the planet, so now they are needed once again because the Druidons have returned. So they were sealed away because the Druidon threat was no longer a threat because they were gone. But now the Druidon have returned along with the Minosaurs, and we'll find out more about them as the show goes on. I really don't know the connection between Druidons and Minosaurs, but we'll find out. So anyway, the Ryusoulgers are protecting the temple entrance at night, and Ko and Melto are sparring. And Asuna begins to talk about how the temple is their source of power, and they have to defend it. They are the new Ryusoulgers, and it's kind of like a heavy burden to them. It's a big responsibility. So Ko then starts talking about how he will defeat the Druidons along with the two of them. With Ko's power, he will have Melito's swordsmanship and Asuna's brute strength. He makes a joke about her brute strength. Asuna doesn't like the term brute strength, so she pushes Ko into a wall where Ko finds someone spying on them. It's, of course, Ui, after the whole monster attack thing, and she starts asking all of them questions until she backs up into the Elder, and he sees this and tells Ko to erase her memory in the morning. And this is by far the funniest scene in the episode. Ko takes Yui to where she entered the forest, and she asks him if he can really wipe her mind and how he does that, and then he just pulls out a big hammer. Their method of wiping memories is a big hammer. I just thought that was so ridiculous and so great. It really made me laugh. It honestly made me laugh, and it was so good. But sadly, before we get to see Ko use the memory wiper, the giant Minosaur from before finally appears, and Ko runs towards it to help out in the fight, and he does this amazing midair transformation with a web of red Ryusos. It was so cool. The moments of the transformations are so great in this episode. I love it. Asuna and Melto and their masters try to hold the Minosaur back, but their powers go away instantly. This is because the Druidons have entered the temple to steal the Kishiryu's power. Ko and Master Red run into the temple to face Tank Joe and Kurion, and this fight is pretty cool because we see just how powerful Tank Joe is as a warrior, because apparently he is the strongest of the Druidon warriors. Plus, Ko says an awesome line after getting knocked to the ground, like, limits exist to be broken. And I just thought it was a really good line, really shows his personality and his goals as a warrior. So he's not just a happy-go-lucky kind of Red Ranger. He's actually got a mantra. He's actually got this goal to be a great warrior and to go past his limits, which is really cool. So Tank Joe waves his sword to kill the Reds, but then Master Red jumps in front and uses a Ryusoul, the Kata Soul, to shield Ko from the attack. This results in Master Red getting hit by the attack and is killed. He then fades into energy in the form of a red Ryusoul. So I can't tell whether or not his soul went into Ko's Ryusoul, or if it's a brand new Ryusoul from Master Red's energy. I can't really tell. I think it's Ko's, but it was just a really powerful moment. His master died. He's really close with his master, just like the other two are. So it's a really powerful moment. The same thing happens with the other two masters pushing their new recruits out of the way when the Minosaur blasts a beam of fire. So already in episode 1, we see the deaths of not one, but 3 characters. It's really powerful. I did not expect that. I did not expect to see death in the first episode. Judging by all the sounds from the Ryusoulger toys, it's really happy and dancey, and then we have these deaths, and it's this is a really good series so far. I just think that was really powerful. I don't know. Ko uses his master's Ryusoul, again, I don't know if it is his master's Ryusoul, to take on Tank Joe in the temple. I really love this fight because this part is really cool because Ko's sword is covered in red flames and he goes all out. He's moving all around and he's actually fighting Tank Joe pretty well. He's not going to let Tank Joe get any hits in, so he just keeps going and going and fighting. But he doesn't get to defeat Tank Joe when the temple starts crumbling due to the Minosaur's attacks outside the temple. Just before Ko gets crushed by the ceiling, the Ryusoulger symbol shows up in the temple ceiling, and he is flashed away by something yellow. So I'm guessing it was like a teleporting situation, and he is now inside what seems to be the cockpit of the Kishiryu. So it's really cool. They got like these mirrors set up. It's a really cool looking cockpit. I have to say, it's really good. He places his sword inside this control console in the center of it and awakens Kishiryu 3 knights. So the red, blue, and pink Zords all together, the Kishiryu, are already combined, which I found kind of weird. I thought it was just going to be Tiramigo, and we would just get to see Tiramigo fight in T-Rex mode, and then Kishiryu mode, so night mode. But I kind of like this fight, because it is all 3 of them together already, and we already have the red, blue, and pink Ryusoulgers defending the temple, so it kind of makes sense that all 3 would be there already. So with Kishiryu 3 knights awakened, finally, it is a really, really cool fight against the Minosaur. The mecha can jump, do kicks, run around, and it can even bend its legs. I love the mech suit for this show. You can bend the suit actor can bend his legs. He can have a lot more freedom moving around to get better fight scenes with this suit on. It's really, really awesome. And at one point, Kishiryu puts the drills on its knees and does like a knee kick to the Minosaur, which was so great. I love it. The weapon versatility with the drills and cannons is a really great feature for the mech. I loved it. So anyway, Ko charges up for the final attack, the Kishiryu Final Blade, and Kishiryu then separates into the 3 Kishiryu, and the Minosaur has been destroyed. It was just a really awesome mech fight. I loved it. Really good episode. I keep saying that, but it's a really good episode so far. So after the Minosaur has been defeated, the Elder arrives to tell them that even though the temple was the source of their power and now gone, the Ryusoulgers still have the power of their masters and the Kishiryu. So the Elder continues to tell them that the 2 other Ryusoulgers left the village a while back and that they must work with them being green and black Ryusoulgers. So we get a shot of green and black fighting a Minosaur, which is a lot smaller than the one we just saw. So they vary in sizes, which I think is interesting. We'll get to see more of that. The transformation scene at the end is so cool, because it's like a roll call, basically. They summon little armies of their Ryusouls, so red, blue, and pink, and they dance around them, which is so fun, to the music of the changer, before jumping towards the Ryusoulgers to create their suits and then their helmets. So this is where they give their official roll call of each Ryusoulger, and I loved it. It was so flashy, it was so amazing, and that's where the episode wraps up, and I honestly loved it. It was really cool. So like I said, this was definitely an interesting first episode, I think. Now, I don't like to compare the quality of Sentai to Power Rangers, but like I said in the first episode review of Beast Morphers, it isn't hard to make a good first episode of Toku because you're introduced to the story, the characters, especially the toys all at once and it's a lot of information, like I said. And with that said, Ryusoulger did a great job for their first episode. It was amazing. I loved every second of it, and I was just as pumped as I was when I first found out about Ryusoulger when we got all the information earlier. I was so pumped. I stayed pumped. I was so hyped about it, and it was worth it. It was really good. But again, my only problems were Yui, and I know she might become more relevant later on, but she just wasn't necessary right away. I don't know. We'll get to know more about her in future episodes, and that also the episode still felt kind of short for me. I don't know. Like I said, it was a lot of information to absorb, so maybe it felt really fast, but the second time watching it, I think it was a lot more, better paced. I think I was just so excited about it the first time that it felt really quick. So maybe it's just me and the episode's actually a good pace, but whatever. It just fell fast, but still a great start to the new Super Sentai team, and hopefully not the last Super Sentai team, because I've heard that it might be the last, but I don't know. I loved it. All I'm saying is Kishiryu Sentai, Ryusoulger is amazing. Really, really awesome. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell to be notified of future videos, and I will see you guys in the next one.